Good morning, people. Good morning. I don't usually do videos on Sundays because it's the Lord's Day. But, I feel like God kind of put this word on me, especially with what happened to me this morning. Got a flat tire this morning. So it was fun changing that and going to get another one this morning. But it occurred to me that I did not do a video, like I said I was going to do, about this subject yesterday because I got busy, but that's an excuse to the Lord. So I'm doing it now. So good blessed morning, saints. So today is going to be a real quick one. I wanted to touch on this right here, what I found in my daily Bible. And today's reading comes from 1 Samuel, book of 1 Samuel. Looks like it's going to do chapter 4. And it's talking about Samuel as Israel's last judge, if you guys are interested in that. So what I was going to go over was, and I'll read it here. It says, "The plans may be man's, but the odds are God's. And chances are good you wouldn't want to face the odds Gideon faced as God whittled down his fighting pencil." And let's do a little arithmetic. So the first point is, how large was the Midianite army before the battle began? According to Judges, would make a total of, I believe it's like 12,000 soldiers to begin with. Hold up a little bit further. But if you're looking for the answer, that's in the book of Judges, chapter 8, verse 10. And the next point is, according to Judges, chapter 7, 3, Gideon had 10,000 soldiers left after 22,000 had gone. So he was sending people away because it's what God wanted. God said, basically see who would stay, see who would go. So Gideon began whittling down the army that he had to go fight for him. Give me a second here. Let me get some of this air going. All right, so the third point is, that means initially Gideon faced odds of 135,000 to 32,000, or roughly 4-1. What did God say about those odds? Well, again, if you get in the book of Judges, you can find that answer. This is more so like a self-study type of thing. But I know that God, any and everything is possible. So, so he faced such odds to the point, and he faced such odds to the point to where they did not think they were going to win. So what God did with them is he had them plan a surprise attack. He had them lead people away. He had half of the army lead them out of the town, away from their city, away from their wives, away from their children. And when they were far enough away from the town, as they were killing as the Midianites were killing them along the way, they attacked the town and destroyed the town. So by the time they saw it, looked back and saw the smoke coming from the town, they ran back and gave the chance for Gideon's army to then attack and whittle them down. So, look at God. But it's all through the Bible, where you see that there is these extreme circumstances that God will lead us through. And what happens is God takes us through those situations to build our faith in him. He takes us through those situations so that we can understand where our help comes from. And he does it with a lot of us. He really does. And we just don't notice it every day. We think that light bill that didn't get paid. It's because God hates us. It's not because God hates us. He does not hate us. In fact, he loves us so much. If you want to understand how much he loves us, go back and look at Gomer Homer and Gomer, the story of Homer and Gomer. I was just reading that last night. I was just watching it last night. There's this video on it. And when you look at Gomer, Gomer is us to Christ. And Homer is Christ. You know, he loves us so much, you know, that he's willing to forgive us as long as we repent and we come back to him. He's always there for us. So, and I literally watched it I watched it 5 times because it's beautiful. I couldn't grasp it at first how much he really understood, how much he really loved us. But somebody was like, watch it and put man or yourself in the place of Gomer, which was the woman, and put Jesus in the place of Homer, which was, you know, which was the man. So, and that's how much God loves us. He's like, he loves us so much. And that's an agape love. He loves us so much that, you know, no matter what we do, he's always there. He's willing to allow us to come back and to be in his grace and to be in his mercy and to just, you know, love him and just, you know, hold him. That's what he wants, you know. He wants our attention. He wants that intimate relationship with you, and he wants to, you know, he wants you to ask him, you know, invite him into your life. Ask him what he wants to, ask him what you should eat. Enjoy him, love him, you know, kiss him. I can honestly say since going through it right now, like, you know, Jesus has been the best spouse I ever had. Like, you know, he really has, man. You know, he's a comforter when he's a comforter when I'm lonely. He's just been taking me through. You know, he's just been bringing me through storm after storm after storm. You know, and it's really definitely made me a better man for it. You know, I keep talking about this song, but it's my favorite song, man. God Favored Me by Hezekiah Walker. You know, when people lie on you, when people, you know, they lie, when the people lie about you, when people steal on you, when people steal from you, when people, you know, put you down and, you know, cheat, and cheat you out of a job or cheat you out of money, just do you wrong. You know, understand God favored you. Why? Because you draw breath today. Why? Because you woke up today. Why? Because you have a roof over your head today. You know, this is another day. This is another day you can get up and worship him. This is another day you can get up and give him praise and give him glory, because he woke you up this morning. Shoot, it wasn't that person that you lusting after. It wasn't that person that you stole from last night. You know, God woke you up this morning. God bless you. God decided that he was going to give you another chance to get right. So do you not owe it to him to take that chance and get right, to take that chance and pray and ask for forgiveness, to take that chance and get right, take that chance and stop doing wrong? Like, we all know right from wrong. You know, we all know right from wrong. So when are you going to start doing right? When are you going to stop running from the truth? When are you going to make that effort to take that hard road back? I often tell people, I've had the pleasure to minister to, especially over this past week. I often tell them, I've always had to walk a hard path. I've always had to walk a hard road. I've always had to not do what was easy, but what was right. And the path is broad that leads to destruction, and the path that's narrow that leads to him, which is the truth. So I had a chance to talk to a gentleman the other day in the back of the car, as I was driving the other day. And through our conversation, I was talking to him about, you know, how God has kept me, how God has changed me, how God has made me, and he's just done such a work in me and through me. And he said, you know what, after having a conversation with you, man, I'm gonna actually get up and go to church in the morning. I don't know if he's actually going to do it, but for him to hear that, for God to allow me to talk to him and, you know, blessed me to, to be able to bless him, man. It was so beautiful. So beautiful. Such a beautiful thing, man. Such a beautiful thing, man. And God to give you that grace. God to give you that mercy too. God to make that change in your life too, man, so that, when you sit back and you understand how beautiful it is, it's going to bring a tear to your eye. And people going to think that, oh man, this guy was offended. This guy's hurt. No, this guy's not offended, man. This guy ain't hurt. I'm not hurt by what people do now. Shoot. I got some of the best news I had in a while, in a few months. But that was God. That was God. Oh, Jesus Christ. That was God. Man. But when it's said and done, man, I'm going to give my testimony. I'm going to sit on here and give my testimony. And it's going to be a video, man. It's going to be a video. But I got a little sidetracked. So, point 4. After the fearful ones left, Gideon's army was reduced to just... And again, you guys got to look that one up. I'm about to run in church here. The Midianite army was still the size of blank. Now, Gideon faced odds of 135,000 to 10,000. Now, the 10,000 was Gideon's army when it was done, or roughly 13 to 1. What did God say about those odds? So you go to Judges 7:4 to read that. Now, point 5. After the water drinking test, Gideon's army was further reduced to just blank. That means Gideon now faced odds of 135,000 to 300, or roughly 450 to 1. And what did God say about those odds? Judges chapter 7, verse 7. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. I got the cold air going, so it's a little odd for me because it's getting a little warm. So yeah, getting to the book of Judges today. For me in the daily walk, it is 1 Samuel is the reading for today for me. So it's going to be starting first set. If you guys want to be caught up with today, the reading is from 1 Samuel. It's going to be chapter 1 through 4. Okay. But if you want to, go back through that, if the odds are against you, I definitely recommend getting into the book of Judges. If you want to look at the odds and look at what God can do for you if you just give him the time of day and just give him the time. But I'm going to go ahead and get up in here, start setting up, and you guys have a blessed Sunday, and just stay well.